Hi, this is Bob from Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff. And if you're looking for an online Toughbook community that gives tips, tricks, and support, hit the subscribe and that bell button for notifications of all our newest upcoming videos. Today, I'll be going through the 5 most common issues with the Panasonic Toughbook CF-20, so stay tuned. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. So today I'm going to talk about the top 5 most common issues with the CF-20. And at the end, I'm going to give you a bonus issue that we also found. I couldn't just make it 5, I had to give you 6. But I want to point out first off that although we're talking about the issues, I got to admit the CF-20 is a great unit and none of these issues should keep you from purchasing it if you're looking into it. It is a ruggedized CF-20 laptop, took the place of the flagship CF-19 that's been discontinued. So it is a nice, cool, thin, ruggedized laptop. But let's talk about some common issues that I run into on repairing these things. Number 1 is the port covers. Now this is a minor issue, but the port covers, they break off rather that's a common issue. And what happens is they typically just have one rubber connection that they bend back and forth on. Now the good news is you can pick up these replacement port covers from Panasonic and it's just 1 or 2 screws that you need and you have a new port cover. So that is number 5 in my list of most common issues. Number 4 are the bumpers on these things. Now, what do I mean by bumpers? Well, if you take a look here on the screen, we have some little rubber bumpers right here in the corners. What happens with these is they break off. And then whenever you push it down to close it, you'll see the little indentations here. That keeps this screen from closing incorrectly, which, hey, again, I'm nitpicking, but that is an issue that we find on a common basis. We're always replacing these little rubber bumpers. Number 3. Now, number 3 is a little more serious. However, I gotta admit, on all the Panasonic Toughbooks, this is always gonna happen. But on the CF-20, the mouse pad tends to wear a lot faster than on other versions of their ruggedized lines. Like the CF-31, the mouse pad doesn't wear as bad. But we're finding that these mouse pads need to be replaced a little more often. It's not a big issue. Again, it's something that can be easily replaced. And I'm not talking about 6 months. I'm talking about a couple of years of heavy use. It's going to wear out. Coming in at number 2 on the most common issues is this back cover. Now this back cover is just one plate right here, and we find that it cracks. And I don't know if that's because of pressure that may have landed on the back of this unit, but it does crack and it needs to occasionally be replaced. Now, if you take care of it and you don't pile nothing on top of it, you're not going to have that issue, but that can happen. It's an easy replacement, and again, you can pick up these replacement parts straight from Panasonic, their repair shop. Coming in at number 1 is the hot swap battery. The hot swap battery sits behind this cover, the back cover plate, and we don't know what causes it, whether it's heat or whatever. And well, first of all, what the hot swap battery does is gives you power between whenever you're pulling this off as a tablet and you're putting it back on as a laptop. So when you pull this off, that hot swap battery gives it the energy it needs to stay on. It's a separate battery from your main battery, which is behind this screen, but they expand, and we don't know if it's due to heat. And I'm going to show you one here that we've replaced. If you take a look, it's got a puffiness to it. And what that does is it pushes this screen, this cover up. Don't know why. We don't know why it does this, but we found this as a common issue on these CF-20s. As promised, I'm giving you my bonus issue. The bonus issue, and this is kind of a, not even an issue, but an aggravation. So when you replace this back cover, believe it or not, and we found out the hard way, believe it or not, there's a little magnet piece on the cover that will activate a switch inside the unit that tells the unit it has a battery and the cover is on. If you don't have that little magnetic piece attached to this cover, whenever you turn your laptop on, it'll show that there's no battery in the unit. It's not an issue, I guess. It's more of a, hey, if you're having a problem in getting your battery recognized and you just replaced your back cover plate, you may want to take the little piece of magnet that they have screwed on the old cover and put it on this cover so that it recognizes the battery. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. In fact, if you find you have issues with the CF-20 and you know of some common issues, don't hesitate to leave me comments down below. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any issues with the CF-20, leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you next week.